Happy Friday to you. It is the 12th of December. Is it? Yeah, it's 12 days of QRZ as well. So nice to see you folks in here. Thank you, folks, also for helping me out. I accomplished almost all my goals. Well, let me start out with what I was going to say. What I was doing earlier, I did a POTA up over at 9757. Not that far away. It's only about 2 miles away. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know. But I wanted to get contacts on 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20. No, I'm still like 400 away from there. On two UTC days. I accomplished that goal. But in the back of my head, when I thought about doing this, I also wanted to get 6 and 40. Sorry about that. And when I first jumped on, the only 6 meter contact I could probably make was Kim, which I don't know if she's in here or not right now. Jeff, nice to see you in there. I probably know Jeff longer than anybody in here. So in the back of my head, I failed, but I still accomplished my goal. I activated 2 dates. I got contacts. I don't know why I keep on putting up 4 fingers. I really just need 2. Sorry about that. I don't know. It keeps doing that. But I made 2 UTC days of 12 days of QRZ, pardon me. So very happy with that. I already accomplished the 12 days of Christmas on the digital side of things. I'm going to try to do it on the voice on as many different bands as I possibly can. But I'm not going to put them in I'm not going to put in for the award till I get at least on voice. And I also want to I think I can get 10, 12, 15, 17, 20, 30, 40, 60, 80, and 160. I think I can accomplish digital, all those digital modes. So I'm just going to wait to put that in. I scarfed down a bunch of Mexican food before I got on, and I tried to wait a few minutes, but it didn't work out so well. It's still burping up, so I apologize. So I want to thank you guys and Kim, because she was the only female contact I made, for if you guys were part of that live stream a couple hours ago, well, just basically 2.5 hours ago now, and I made it 2 hours without having to go to the bathroom on a live stream. So pretty proud of myself. That's enough of ham radio, at least for me right now. I want to show you guys something. So I like watching a lot of YouTube, and I want to make sure I'm putting this link in here. So if you guys are interested to watch the whole, she is the queen of 6 meters. The whole video here. I don't want to steal somebody's content because I have been accused of that. I am not trying to steal his content. In fact, I'm pushing you guys towards this contact. If you guys never heard of this guy, it's called the Lackluster. It's basically police interactions, government interactions, whatever. He has some pretty good content. I think he was a lawyer at one point. I don't know for sure. I don't want to misspeak, but I'm showing you this because it's ham radio related. You guys might get a kick out of this. And like I said, I'm not going to play the whole video because I don't want to steal his content, but I'm going to play up a quick little portion of it that I think will be kind of funny for you guys to see. Being ham radio operators, and the buzzing you're hearing is me trying to work on FT8 on 20 meters. It's not going too well. So yeah. So let me pull this up. Hopefully the audio and everything will work. So this is off the Lackluster channel. I left a link there in the chat. Please, if you're interested in watching it, help the guy out. He's got 1 million+ subscribers there. Look like, can't see my screen all the way. What, 1,407,000, I believe. So
in
let's
his
take a
local
listen
government,
here. All right,
Joe is also licensed
I can't
to
play the whole
conduct
thing full screen,
emergency
or I'll get
ham
popped.
radio operations. He was scorching the grass in his front yard using a propane pear burner to prevent the remaining grass seeds from sprouting. This is a normal landscaping practice called flame weeding and is a necessary operation to install a vertical radio antenna, as it requires nearly 2,000 feet of radial ground wire. If grass grows under the wires, it would disrupt the antenna's performance.
Stop it right there. Okay. What do you guys think about that? Would it stop the performance? Would it mess up the performance if grass was going around it? I mean, I had a bunch of rocks around my radios today during the live stream, or at least the antenna I used. Nice to see you in there. I had a very successful chicken hat activation at 109 contacts between the 2 UTC days. Anyways, we'll roll back to here. I'll roll this back because I don't know if Hamstick got to see this. This guy got called on the first. I'm going to play this back a little bit. Let me explain a little something. So this guy got called the cops because he scorched his grass. Apparently it's a local ordinance that you're not supposed to do that. Whatever. Not reason why this is not why I'm showing this. I just want to see your folks' reactions on the comments that the person made there from Lackluster being a ham radio operator. And please, I'm not trying to make it look like he doesn't know what he's doing, whatever, because he supplies really good content. So I like to watch a lot of his videos. So once again, you can go watch the whole video, but I'll play a little portion here.
Practice called flame weeding and is a necessary operation to install a vertical radio antenna, as it requires nearly 2,000 feet of radial ground wire. If grass grows under the wires, it would disrupt the antenna's performance.
Singeing the grass is less than creating a dam. I guess somebody called you. Singeing the grass. Singeing the grass is less than creating a charcoal fire in my backyard. This is a ham radio tower authorized by the Federal Communications Commission. I'm trying to kill the grass burrs in the damn yard.
Okay.
There's no grass fire. No one's burning leaves.
Okay, sir. So do you have your ID on you?
Texas Penal Code, Section 38.02 makes it...
All right, so I'm not going to show the rest of the video because it's more about him getting arrested for arson in his own yard, which doesn't make a lot of sense because I always understand arson was if you damage somebody else's house or property with fire, but that's beside the point. I just wanted to let you guys show this little bit of a piece of that video. I left the whole thing in the not description, but in the chat here, so you guys can check it out. So I don't know what you guys think. What's your thoughts on that? I've never heard of anything like that at all. That you need to have the grass completely clear of those radials. I hope I said that right. But judging by a couple comments I read as that was going on, I would say that's probably not right. And yes, the FCC doesn't authorize you to burn your grass. I would agree with that. Apparently, it's actually legal to burn your grass in some states, but there is local ordinances about it. I looked on there a little bit before that. Radios on the grass are bad for... Yeah, like I said, the arson part of it, because he got arrested for arson. I think I don't want to ruin the video, but I always understood that arson was destroying somebody else's. Well, apparently they had so just watch the video. Apparently you can do that, but they had a no burn at that time, which happens from time to time in some areas. Yeah, watch the video. If you guys are interested, watch the video. You can find out what happens. I don't want to ruin it. That's why I don't want to say I'm like stealing content, but I just wanted to show you the ham radio portion of that. There's another little small bit of ham radio in there, but I'll let you guys watch it to figure it out. But yeah, just a little bit a strange, I don't know, the way that they described that. And I believe that was a DX commander in there. What did someone said they saw a DX commander? Yeah. So if I would have put it full screen, from what I understand, it would have been kind of stealing. So I was just referring to it. And maybe Lackluster can find this video and go, hey, you can get some ham radio advice or more information on that. That's not a DX commander. So I don't know. I doubt if he's going to ever see this, but if he does, thank you, Mr. Lackluster. You put out good content. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Let me try to do something here before I So I'm on FT8 on 20 meters because I didn't get that band yet. I got to download something real quick that I don't want to show on the screen. Save attachment. Downloads. Okay. I want to go look at a spray chart. I call a spray chart of my contacts that I made at the POTA. Although I can't find my... Hold on. I don't want to show this. I'm looking... So there is a website that I can look up. It shows like a chart of how my signal went out or my contacts today. So I'm just looking... I called it spray chart in here, which has nothing to do with what I did. I did activate on 17 meters. I got about 10 contacts, at least the first activation on 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20 meters. Not so much on the second UTC day. A couple bands I made 10 contacts, but most of it was between 5 and 7 contacts. And I can't find my... You guys see something that says spray chart in here? There we go. Give me a second. I got to upload something. I got to upload something. You made your own tool for making QSL maps. Tool. So, Eric, that makes you a tool. Dang it, it doesn't show my position. It doesn't show the little lines. I made a contact with somebody in Japan. I know that. I don't know why that's not in there. So I got Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Hawaii, the Big Island, and Canada, all DXCC-wise. Lots of folks doing MSK on 28, 145 right now. My 10-meter band is completely dead. So this is my contacts I made from the POTA. A lot in the southeast United States there. A lot in East Texas. Looks like Arkansas. A couple in Alabama. 10-meter contest? Yeah, I heard a little bit of it. This guy was actually in Phoenix, Idaho. Where's Dustin at in here? Dustin said he was mobile. I don't know if he's in here. Did I see you in here? No Terry in here. That's a nice far one. My very first contact was New York before I even was streaming. I think it was this guy right here. Yeah. I got on a check on a frequency. I think it was 413, 28, 413, I think. And the guy's like, yeah, your audio's good. And I'm like, okay. What's your call sign? And I'm like, well, I'm just getting ready and was going to do a POTA to make sure I had a... Oh, there goes the Japan one. It's showing on the other side of the earth. That's weird. The long path. And he came back and gave me a good signal report. He was coming really good. So pretty happy. If you notice here, 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20 meters. I'll go through a little bit of a list. Very happy. Accomplished the goals I wanted to accomplish with today. I just wish I would have jumped on 6 and got at least one contact with Kim on 6, at least for the second UTC day, because she came in late, a little bit later. I should have sent her a message or something. But very happy with the activation. I believe it was 109 between the two, so 64 plus 45 would be 109. 109. So between the two UTC days and the one I'm going to call one sitting. And I'm pretty proud of myself. I did that all in one bladder pass. So pretty proud of myself. I believe Matt was asking about the kilo. So I think that's in the awards part. I don't think I'm close. Yeah, I think you're right. I wish I didn't. Of course, I got to be at work at like 9:30 tomorrow morning. I got a long day too. So you were someone said, I think it was Matt talking about the kilo. So yeah, I'm a little ways away from there. I'm at 545 there, and 795 at Chino Hill State Park. I might do Chino Hill State Park next week. We'll see. I don't know. I got to fire up the Starlink and all that 9 yards to get that thing going. At least to do a live stream. Tent pole. I didn't say anything about tent pole. Did someone say about? Oh, there we go. Oops. Yeah, that'd be a whip. Tent pole. Yeah. I mean, I mean, you're not wrong. So these will get put in, I guess, to get over 400. So it's easier for me to do Butterfield, Overland, National Historic Trail than Chino Hill State Park. It's not so much the drive to Chino Hill State Park. It's the drive through Chino Hill State Park where I want to do the POTA at. It's up on top of a hill, kind of away from everything, away from all the noise. If I go right where I drive in, well, even if right where I drive in, I still need to drive at least a mile in. Sorry, I got a piece of something in my teeth. Before I hit the ranger station, and right after the ranger station, there's power lines above, and I've, with my ATOS, just tested it out, and I can hear the noise from the power lines. So the further I get away from the power lines, a little bit better. Yeah, I can't. The Hawaii one there, you guys can probably go look back from 2024, October of 2024. That was with Hamstick Eric in here. He did most of the work on that one. I was just like dumbfounded by all the when you get a pile up, it's just too much. And I don't know if you guys watched the live stream for the last live stream I did from the POTA, and it's just a little bit overwhelming when you get all those folks calling you there at once, which I like. I like the fact that everybody's hearing me. At one point, I am not exaggerating. I think I heard over 10 people call me back. So, and I was still able to pick up some call-iters through there. So I'm pretty happy about that. I watched a little bit of the video. I didn't mess up as many call signs. I know this sounds weird. I've been studying other people's POTAs activations. And there's K6EGG. He does POTA activations. He puts up videos, recorded videos, not live streams. And he puts the call-iters on the bottom. And he does it phonetically. So I listened to him. And I looked at him as he was doing it, and then I practiced making a fake log when I was watching the live stream or watching the video. So I watched a couple. I only watch the video once, and I don't watch it before I do the fake or the mock logbook, just so I could train myself, so I don't have to hear it. I don't want to hear it again because it was kind of screw me up. Because then I'll be trying to guess. Oh, is that the K3J call? Blah blah blah, or whatever. So I'd watch it the first time, and then I would try to do the logbook that way. That way, I was kind of training my ears. Because when I went out with Hamstick Eric there in Hawaii, and I heard the mass, like he really had a massive pileup that I've never heard before on that end. Like I've kind of heard it through my radio, but it was everybody calling him. And I was just like, it was almost nauseating. So, but I've learned to embrace it. You guys saw me get a little frustrated because it's like too many people calling at once. And a lot of those people can't hear everybody. And it was like, I heard a couple people in their call twice. I was able to pick out a couple call letters that I recognized, which I was pretty happy with. I heard a very distinct voice, K0BF, in there a couple times during the pileup, and I was able to pick him out. I was pretty happy with myself. And then also Kevin there in Minnesota, which he's been on pretty much the last couple activations I've done. I've gotten him on 3 or 4 different bands. I'm going to make a joke right here, but I don't think I should. I should. I wish Nate was in here. We need to get a screenshot. Yes, and I saw that. Sorry, Seth. He said that I was in control, and he's right. You know what? I just let it settle for a second, and I said, you know, they've got a lot of people calling. I heard somebody start with a K5, Kilo 5, or whatever, Whiskey 5, and I just worked from there. But then I had like 3 people call me back with Whiskey 5 or K5 stations. I'm just giving an example. I don't remember what phonetics at that time that happened, but I just remember I had to kind of slowly weed through all the different calls. So that was a lot of fun, though. I really enjoy that. If I had a little bit more of a comfortable setup, it wasn't in such a, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a good situation where I was at. I would like to sit outside because it was nice, but, you know, there's a really easy trick for keeping the pileups at a size you can control. Turn down the power. Can I tell you the secret that you did when we were doing the POTA? That was a good one too. That was a very good one. I wish I could have worked them all, trust me, but I had a goal. I had a goal, I had a plan, and I stuck to it, which I'm pretty happy about. I worked through all the different bands I wanted to work through. So we're ending our POTA. I had a limited time. I don't remember what Eric's situation was. I literally only had like a 3-hour block to do this POTA, and like all the stars were aligned. My flight was on time. Eric was available. Eric was able to drive all the way over to Waikiki and pick me up. That was very nice of him in his gray Model 3 Tesla. And we drove to a park close, Sandy Beach, I believe, where I think I made my first contact with you. Or Sand Beach, I should say. Anyways, so we're almost at the end of the POTA, and he's like, I'm going to show you a little something. And I think I had the mic muted at the time, is he started lowering the power of his radio I think he had the 7300. He started lowering the power. He's like, oh, that would give the illusion that the band's going away from Hawaii. And I'm like, that's a pretty good idea. I mean, I don't need to do that because I don't work pileups like that. And the pileup I had today was nothing like Eric had. You're in a different situation with everybody wants to get Hawaii. There was some East Coast folks in there that was trying to get Hawaii. I text some of my friends, my personal friends that are ham radio operators. I had some personal goals to make some contacts with my buddy Rick, N6POP. We talked about this for years and years and years, and we finally were able to make a contact across the Pacific Ocean, which I really enjoyed. So, and by the way, he was working people with 1 watt, if I recall. Like literally, he was at 1% and he was still making contact. So I was pretty dumbfounded by that. And the guy eating chicken there the whole time was kind of entertaining. That's why he got me a chicken hat. So yeah, a lot of fun that trip. My very first photo I ever did, pretty much my first time I did a radio outside of my air conditioned house, and I was getting eaten by bugs really bad. I probably was itching for like 2 weeks after that. But lots of fun out there in Honolulu. Was hoping to do it again, but unfortunately he had to go away for business. And let's see how this is going.
I feel bad that...
Whoa, you scared the shit out of me. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I feel bad that I didn't tell you to wear pants.
I probably wouldn't have worn them anyways. I don't think the only time I wore pants was the day I was going to get married in Hawaii, which I didn't end up getting married.
I have a bunch of like super lightweight pants.
Oops, sorry. But do you feel, do you feel like it's a little too much when you had so many people calling you back, or you just like, oh, well, I'm just going to work who I want to work?
Not that day. When 10 was open, when I got, a dipole up at 10 meters high, so a full wavelength from that tree, when 10 was really good, yeah, it would get a little out of hand. But no, that day was okay.
See, my feeling when I hear a pileup is I feel obligated that I need to make a contact with all these guys or girls or whoever's calling me back, because they took the effort they looked up probably on the POTA page or wherever they got the info from that I was on the band, whether it be they saw me on the scope or whatever. I just felt an obligation. I wanted to make the contact, but it was like, it's like, just like everybody yelling at me. Like I'm at work when I got 5 people telling me they had stuff broken at once. So very happy today. The chicken hat worked. I have not had a failed activation yet. You guys going to see me if I do. And the chicken hat has done its thing. And you notice I've worn a chicken hat every activation. No, there were no assholes. I'm not saying they're assholes, but there's a couple people like purposely going over people.
Yeah, that happens. Like I was saying when 10 is open, when 10 is really hitting it from Hawaii, there's people who are very impatient.
I bet.
And and the thing is, I don't allow that sort of behavior. Like there's people that think if I am obnoxious as possible, he's going to work me to get me out of the way. And unfortunately, there's a lot of activators that will do that. They'll work someone who's being obnoxious just to get rid of them. But the problem is that when you do that, it encourages them to keep doing it. So there's a couple of people that I don't think I had to do it when you were with, but there's some times where I'm like, hey, let's say whiskey 1 A B C D whatever. If you keep calling like that, I will never put you in my log. And then he'll come back and you're like, you're 5 and 9 or whatever, and I'll be like, well, you're not in my log, QRZ.
Dang. See, I wanted to help out. Like, there's Kevin W0KEG, I believe. Let me look this up here. Let me double check here. Oh, there goes Gray Man there. W0KEG, I think. Yeah. So this guy followed me like throughout the whole bands. There's a couple of you. I heard Don was in there. I talked to him when I was in Vegas with John. I have talked to him at a couple different POTA sites. In fact, last year even. So I wanted to make sure I got a contact with this guy. So that's my obligation to these folks. But I heard a couple people in there where they were starting to get a little rude.
Yeah.
Like they're getting frustrated. But I was like, this was my activation. My plan was to run through all the different bands. I was trying to get 10 contacts on each different band for a UTC day and then call it quits. I did more. I got well over 100 between the 2 days, but I'm happy with it. I'm going to do that again, I think. Except I'm going to do 40 this time probably and bring a light with me.
One thing you can always do And I'm sure some people say it's not okay and it's real lame to do it, but I don't care. I have a group of people that, I chat with outside of, off air and stuff. But let's say if I'm doing POTA and I get a text message from you, Greg, that says, hey, I'm trying to call you. I might say QRZ. And then I'll be like, did I hear an EGG out there? And then if, that'll give you a chance to call by yourself. And then as long as I can hear you and make the QSO, I'm not pretending to make a QSO, but I am pretending to pull you out of the pileup. I'm still going to make the actual QSO over the air. But I will absolutely stop a pileup to give a friend of mine priority.
And I believe I was showing you some text messages from a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
We did that. So I try to get as many people as I can. I just don't want this to be a chore. This is fun. And when I get people it didn't really happen today, but I did hear a couple people get a little angry. Just one more. I heard a couple just one mores in there. I wanted to get my thing in.
Yeah, that's when you got to do I almost want to say the polite way is just to start lowering your power, and that way you're not like, all right, I have to go. Sorry for leaving you all here. It's just, it's probably not polite, but it gets rid of that issue where, people can still hear you and you got to leave.
Yeah. K7SEN. Yeah, and the reason why I'm saying this is I brought it up. I had 2 messages on Discord, and both the people weren't in my server. I don't know how I guess they looked me up on Discord and not even emailed me. I haven't checked my email though. And they said, hey, I was trying to work you, but you move bands too fast. And one person's like, I tried to work you in 2 different bands and you never called me back. It's like, one of the guys didn't put his call letters in there and he just had a weird screen name. And the other guy I just didn't hear. And I probably would have tried to work him. You guys know I try to work everybody, but I just wish I had more time. And I didn't want to be out there at dark because I didn't have my flashlight with me. I had my cell phone with me that has a flashlight. But the other thing is I don't think Neil's in here. That area where I was at is a little sketch. So I didn't want to become a statistic out there. I did have some means of security with me, I guess you could say. But I didn't want to go and use it. And I did see a cop pass by, which was not shocking. I'm guessing the cops are going down looking for the tweakers down the road because it goes to a dead end with some trees. You can't really see anything. And I think people go back there and there's all kinds of weird stuff going on back there, whatever. But every time I do one of these POTAs, I'm kind of limited on time. And I especially was when I was with John there, I really wanted to keep going. But I just didn't have if I had all day, I would rent a camper and just sit somewhere and just go the entire day long and just try to make do a kilo in a park. And I'm not talking about the drug kilo, a kilo of drug. Because if I did a kilo in a park in a day, I'd probably be dead. But a K7KAR, I haven't seen him on any log lately or anything lately. So I hope he's all right. Sounds like field day.
I think someone posted on Facebook that he was moving locations and had a lot of setup work to do.
Okay, good. You never know. You never know. So I am going to get this Japanese contact there. No, that's not the Japanese contact I was referring to. This guy right here. And then I'm going to go back to 80. So, by the way, earlier today, on 10 meters before I left, I made an FT8 contact with somebody in Japan. I made a voice contact with that I got a confirmation from. So I got a confirmation with them on FT8 and on voice. So on both on 10 meters. So that was pretty cool. It wasn't from today's stream. I wasn't streaming at the time, but the voice contact was from I think from last year. So that's pretty cool. I was hoping to get 10 meters open to Australia today, but I was at Gray Line outside. That would have been a good opportunity, but it just didn't work out that way. I guess Colin's not even in here right now. He said he didn't have the bands weren't that good. So let me pull off of this. I turned my MFJ on. I need a 160 contact too today, this UTC day. But yeah, I would love to like rent like some sort of like mini RV or something and just like go sit at Lake Paris or something, which is close by me, but far enough away, and just go out there and make contacts like all day long. I think that would be cool. Maybe I can do that. I don't know. I really don't have the money to be renting stuff. So if you haven't worked me on 80, try me on 80. I need a couple confirmations. Ooh, West Virginia. And by the way, this speaking of making contacts, I've been working a lot of 60 meters FT8. You need to like get a better system at your house then if you can only do 10 through or 40 through 10. Underwear and panty. Firing. All right. Come and get me on 80. So take a look at my all states. I've actually got a couple new states on 60 meters, even though it doesn't really mean anything to Logbook of the World as far as awards.
I can't even do HF at my house right now.
What?
I have a balcony.
So what? Just throw the wire out there.
They're doing, I'm not going to have a wire going over someone else's balcony. But they've also got one of those like service things hanging down. So there's like metal wires extending out like over my balcony. And if I have something extending out and they come up or down, it's going to be really bad.
So I got South Dakota. I got Oklahoma. Adam, that's not you, by the way. I don't know who that is, but I got him. So Adam, you missed out. I got Nebraska. I'm just waiting for the confirmation there, and I'll be up to 47 confirmed. Still need Delaware. I guess that would be like the free business state of Delaware because they don't have any corporate taxes there. I could still use Delaware on 80 meters. I'll take them on voice. I'll take them on FT8. I doubt if I'll get them on voice. And I'll probably go to 160 meters if you guys want to try that. I hear Riverside, but not you. Whose fault is that? John, like I said, every time I plug in my radio, I think about you. That's a nice setup. I've made it nice and clean to put in my case. Lots of noise here. I'm sure everybody's probably on 10 meters right now. So are you back? Can you do POTA again?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the police concluded their investigation and decided to not pursue any additional anything. But I am not going to POTA by myself. I'm only going to go out to events with a group.
Probably not a bad idea.
Because yeah, we don't have to get into it, but if I don't like having my human rights violated.
Yeah. What's an ATM? There's a couple things I think about when I hear ATM.
There's only 2 that I can think of, and one is wildly inappropriate.
I'm not even going to go there. Seth can't even say anything. Seth, did you hear when I made the contact with New Jersey and I said, one of my friends into SPG he was born in New Jersey, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm like North Jersey, blah 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 blah, in his Jersey voice. I gotta find that. I'll send it to you.
I think it's funny when people from Jersey are like, oh, I'm Italian. What are you going to do? And I'm like, bro, you're from Jersey.
Thank goodness I haven't been to New Jersey in a while. I don't see you, John, but it looks like I'm making it up in northern Canada. I'm getting spotted up there.
It's kind of funny because when I lived in Italy, none of the people that I knew acted anything like people from New Jersey.
I'm not, Seth. You're right. I don't see you, but I do see.
I would love some Olive Garden right now.
I text you the picture of Taco Bell yesterday.
Yeah.
And I ate Taco Bell, so I'm good for a year. As soon as I ate the first bite, I'm like, this is why I don't need to eat Taco Bell.
Well, the thing is, like Olive Garden's not bad. It's I wouldn't say it's Tuscan food. Like, I mean it's Americanized, obviously, but it's not like representative of all of Italy. It's more of like a thing from Tuscany. But yes, Seth, unlimited breadsticks. I get the chicken gnocchi and I dip the breadsticks in the chicken gnocchi, and that's how I know that there's a God and he loves me. Because it's so good. Like, I just feel my arteries getting thicker.
I felt my arteries getting thicker from the dinner I had tonight.
Wow. Seth is being cantankerous.
EGA. Am I losing you? Scott, right? Yep. Twin Falls, Idaho. There we go. Seems like 80 meters is a little bit on the slow side. You're gray lining 80 meters? No, you're not. Gray line's like in Saudi Arabia. By the way, that was the first time I've ever did a POTA when it was gray line. And holy crap, it was beautiful out there. It was 80 something degrees. I had both my windows down with the AC blasting. It was probably like the weather like it is where you're at right now. Next week, I'm not going to be doing as much live streaming. It's probably Tuesday, Wednesday are my only days. Maybe a week from Sunday. I'm going to Disneyland next week. I'm going to Disneyland. Looking forward to that.
I want to go to the Star Wars one.
I forget the Star Wars ride we went on. It was pretty good.
I meant like the actual Star Wars like park there.
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge.
Well, I should go back. At Walt Disney World, it's a separate park, but in Disneyland, it's like an area. And John, nice to see you in there. WB3HPE from Virginia. So I think that the Orlando one's a little bit differently set up. I also think they have different rides. They have one of the same rides, but I think all the other ones are different.
Yeah, I don't know about the rides. I just want to go build a lightsaber
Oh,
from the lightsaber place.
There's a lot of cool, what's the word I'm looking for? Places to shop to get souvenirs. They got a lot of cool souvenirs in there.
Yeah.
I wish they had those souvenirs available when I was younger.
I'm not a souvenir guy anymore. But I do want to build a lightsaber.
Well, should I try 160 meters, or it's probably a little bit too early for that? Let's see what happens. I can use some 160 meter contacts. This antenna is not even made to do 80 meters. And not hearing anything there. Is 40 still open for voice? Anybody on the West Coast? Let's take a look at FT8. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's take a look here, boys and girls. Not looking like too much. Because that same noise. Not looking too hot here. Boy, the bands this year compared to last year are not as good. Did you get your fake award yet there, Joe?
This is Kilo 6. This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf is the frequency in use. This is Kilo 6 Echo Germany is the frequency in use.
See, I'm waiting until I get my voice is in, voice contacts in, which I could use if someone can get me on 40 right now.
This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf calling CQ 40 meters from Chino, California. Alpha Delta 7 November, I got you a light copy in there. I heard somebody else, I think. I'm going to give you a 5151 from Chino, California.
Okay, great. Thanks, sir. Yeah, you're up and down. You're actually a 5.5 to 5.7.
Hey, you came up to a 5.5 that time, but at least the beginning part of it. I like the new profile picture on your QRZ page there.
You kind of dropped that on me there. What was the question again?
It wasn't a question, it was a statement. Great new picture, photo of yourself there on your QRZ profile.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was down there at the contest station at Allstar. So, had a lot of fun down there for sure.
I wouldn't mind being get involved with something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool to go to a different place like that. I'd probably never visit on my own. All right, Ben, you dropped out on me, but enough for a contact, and I got you in my logbook. I hope you logged me as well.
Yes, you are logged. Thanks very much for the contact, and
7-3, this is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf calling CQ 40 meters from Chino, California.
Kilo Whiskey 5, uniform X-ray Foxtrot.
Kilo Whiskey 5, I'm sorry, my brain froze on your suffix there.
Kilo Whiskey 5, uniform X-ray Foxtrot.
Kilo India 5, uniform X-ray Foxtrot. You're, I'm going to give you a 55 into Southern California tonight.
Roger, I got a good 5-8 on you. You're in Texas.
You actually came up that time, almost a 5-9. So good to get you in there. It looks like this is our first voice contact. I have you on FT8 like 2.5 years ago. So good to get you on a normal phone band here.
Roger, we sounded good here in Texas.
Copy that. Appreciate it. 7-3. I got you in the logbook. Take care.
7-3.
Anybody else out there before I QSY to 80 meters? All right, this is K6EGG QSY 80 meters.
Where's all the good voice contacts at 80? Isn't it somewhere like high? Let me tune up. Oh, come on.
You know you didn't sign up for anything, and you just ignore it all you can do.
So try to get me on 80 if anybody can do 80.
And I'm sure some people get fooled by it.
This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf is the frequency in use.
Ben, I don't know if you can do 80. I would love to make an 80 meter confirmed contact tonight. Let's see if it could happen.
This is Kilo 6 Echo Germany is the frequency in use. This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf calling CQ 80 meters from Chino, California outside of Los Angeles. Once again, this is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf calling CQ 80 meters from Chino, California.
November 6, India Echo.
November 6, India Echo. You're a 5-9, 59 down here in Chino, California.
Okay, yeah, you're doing about 5 and 9 up here in the San Francisco Bay Area. We've spoken before. It's been a while, but good to hear you on the band here tonight.
Ron, it's good to hear you. This is our first contact on 80 meters here, so I don't come down here very often. I'm just coming down here to get get my fake award for QRZ, 12 days of QRZ there.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Signals are not great tonight. There's a lot of noise, but that's typical for 75 meters this time of night. I'm using an ADSI loop for a receive antenna pointed down in your direction, and the antenna is just a rotatable dipole up at 70 feet, part of the DB42. Go ahead.
Copy that. Just using my InFed, the same one I talked to you on before, InFed half-wave. This thing isn't really made for 80 meters, but my MFJ tuner, the 929, is pulling it in for me. Are you remoting at all tonight, like you've done in the past?
Yep, that's about the only way that I run. I feel like driving out to the 30-acre ranch late at night, which is kind of a spooky place.
Well, copy that. Well, good to get you in the logbook. I don't know if you're going to log this one or not. Much will be appreciated if you did.
Okay, I'll put it in the log. It should show up on LOTW if you subscribe to that.
I do. That would be perfect. And I usually dump that over to QRZ as well.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. Well, good to hear you. And hello to the assembled multitude listening on the internet tonight.
Yeah, we got, let me see, probably a little over 30, almost 40 actually watching on YouTube tonight, plus all the folks that go back and watch it later. So I appreciate the contact, Ron.
Okay, that's probably more people that are watching CNN right now.
I think a lot more people watch YouTube these days, to be honest with you, and you're probably not wrong.
Okay. All right. I think there's somebody else trying to use the frequency here, so I'm going to QS5 for tonight. But I'll get you an LOCW, Greg, and good to talk to you.
Copy that, 7-3.
I can't hear the other station. I do hear somebody.
I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm not watching it.
Ron's pretty good dude. I've talked to him before quite a bit on 40 meters, at least 4 or 5 contacts. Good to hear him again tonight on 80. So I got my confirmation on 80 meter FT8 or 80 meter voice. Very happy, very successful day of ham radio, of amateur radio. It's almost like I'm a professional at this. Did someone steal the frequency, or was I using it before somebody else?
Is anybody else here on frequency? This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf. I think this, I heard something about San Diego. All right, I'm going to QSY, K6EGG.
I don't know what that person just said, but I don't understand. Let's take a listen. I mean, I don't need any more contacts.
We take them to that to get their second set of shots. And,
Hey, it's an 80 meter net.
They kind of wiped out for whatever reason. The shots knocked them out, so they're just laying around. They're not even trying.
Some good old boys on 75 meters there, like 7200 guys. Or like, that sounded like someone talking about his ailments.
Weather, it's sure certain areas of the country are unusually warm and others are unusually cold. And
I had just had the AC on about an hour ago, like after the sun went down.
Earlier this week, I just, I checked the temperature forecast on my phone, and then if I see it's going to be above 60 degrees over on the coast, I'll talk my wife into heading over to maybe Halfling Bay or Pescadero.
So I guess he's in
That area,
Central California.
So it said it was going to be hitting about 66 with light winds, slight offshore breeze, and clear skies. So we headed over there a couple of days ago. And imagine, only in California, in Northern California, I know it was really warm in LA area, but...
So, okay, here to his point, So it was in the mid 80s today here in the LA basin.
Absolutely gorgeous. We counted 15 surfers.
And up in Bakersfield, it was only 42 or 43, I think. And fog. They've had fog for the last 2 weeks straight.
Or they've got a blog or something, and I guess conditions were just ideal. There were huge swells coming in, but you looked out to sea, and it just was extremely smooth and just gorgeous. And with that offshore breeze, when those swells would come in, they would start to roll, you know, and the wind would be pushing all the fog off.
All right, this guy has talked a lot.
With that, today, want to know, WM50K and WMK and Dave, we have a count of, I believe it's 21 and 0. So look at this, you guys surfing. Still haven't figured that one out.
Well, I made my 80 meter contact. I'm very happy with that. I made a 40 meter contact and I made an 80 meter contact. That's good enough for logs for me. All right, let me. All right, let me see here. See if I can read this here. Hello, sir. I'm new to this stuff. I've found it incredibly hard to find a group willing to help newbies. I have a DM32UV and planning on upgrading once I get the basics. No transmit license. So you do not have your ham radio license right now? Is that a what brand of radio? I'm not very good on model numbers. We do have a Discord channel set up where when I'm not transmitting on here or I'm not you want to hear further. You mean, do you have like an outside antenna set up at all? Outside antenna? I deleted Discord. Yeah, I'm not a big Discord fan. We do have a Discord server in the pin message there. But it is a good way to interact because I hate Facebook. But it is a good way to interact because there's a lot of folks on there. I'm personally not familiar with that radio. But I'm sure there's a bunch of people that can be able to help you out. I know we have a couple people in here that just listen that do not have their ham radio license. In fact, we had one today in Southern Colorado. Jump in the chat. He heard me on what we refer to as shortwave or HF. What are you looking at listening? Can you throw a link in there while I'm getting set up? I just got to switch over back to FT8. See, there we go. See, this is what I'm talking about. Mike does not have a license. He is definitely interested in getting his license, and he has been listening on a shortwave radio, which is, you can hear HF. So perfect timing. You got to love how that works out. I have a 40 centimeter antenna. And by the way, just because you see me on here on a live stream or on YouTube does not mean I know everything. A lot of these folks in here in the chat will able to help me through a lot of different stuff here. This is a correct statement, but I think he wants to listen to it himself. Yeah, I got my contacts confirmed there. Ron confirmed me there already. That's awesome. So let's take a look at my 12 days of QRZ here for voice. Pretty happy about this. I got them all the way across. I just need 60 and 160. I'm not going to be able to do 160. I'm looking to an upgrade. The Icom 7300 is a great radio to transmit with. Well, I'll tell you what, you're doing something very good is you're getting the radio out. You're trying to tune in stuff. That's a good way to start. Experimenting around with a couple of different ways to put up antennas is a really good way. I've done it on the transmit side of things. Let me pull up my FT8. Where am I going here? 160? Yeah, that is a big upgrade. Which band? Probably 160. I probably got you on 80. Kind of. Yeah. Well, and the 7300 is a pretty good radio, and it's pretty expensive for somebody starting out. I personally experimented around with CB radio, and a lot of people knock CB radio. It's a gateway drug. I refer to it as. I was able to experiment around with the receive side of it as well as the transmit side, more of the transmit side. And then when I first was doing CB, I bought a radio that could do 10 meters, which is right where the CB band is, or very close to it, a couple megahertz away. And I just kind of practiced listening to the 10 meter people, the ham radio operators on there, and that got my my senses going to get my amateur radio license. So yeah, I would experiment around with putting some antennas out, getting coax, placing the antenna in different directions. Maybe even laying it on the ground. That works for receive. Sometimes throwing it up on a little mast, painter poles, anything you got. I used a broomstick. So, I mean, you could try anything. How did you find the channel, by the way? I don't. And you know what? This will be very good. And to your point, I used to I used to travel a lot for work. I still do a little bit. I took a handy talkie with an HT, a handheld radio. I threw that in my bag, and I made contacts. A lot of times I would stay in downtown areas, and I would ask the hotel staff to put me on the highest floor of the hotel, and I would try to make simplex contacts with just a little 5-watt radio, and I was able to connect with a lot of the cities I was in, like Indianapolis, and just throwing that out because I had actually my best furthest contacts are up there. It's very flat. And I was in a high rise at the time. I was at the Westin there in Indiana, and I was able to make a ton of contacts. So even a handheld radio is pretty good. HF, you're dependent on propagation, which is what the atmosphere does to your signal. You learn a lot about that when you get your general license. As far as like VHF, like you have with a handy talkie or HT, you're dependent on how many people are locally have radios, and if you have line of sight with hilltops that have repeaters on them. You probably heard the aircraft band on the AM. And I'm sorry, you said you're in Chicago? Was that correct? There is a lot of repeater systems. If you go to Let me pull something out. South of Chicago. No, south. How far out from Chicago are you? So let me put a website in the chat here you can go to, and it's called Radio Reference, and I'll show you how this thing works here. You should be able to hear some repeaters, ham radio repeaters from there. I don't think you'll be able to make contact with them unless you have a decent antenna. So you can basically just go into this, say, amateur radio. That's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do. Wait a minute here. They've changed this since I've been on this. I used to be able to look up hold on. Nationwide frequencies. There we go. This is not where I wanted to go. Well, did they change this since I've been on this? This was not that confusing before. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of a repeater book. One second. This is what I was thinking of. Hold on. That has a good, that's pretty good too. But I'll put this in the chat. It's hard to do this on a live stream. So this is, say, I don't know where your area is from, but you could put in Chicago. I'm putting in my area. I want to look at, this is for repeaters, to say the 2 meter band, right? And this will bring up everything in California that has a 2 meter repeater. So I just look, and some of these hilltops, if I can see them, like Hollywood Hills, I am not that far away from Hollywood Hills, but I cannot see them. If I could see the hilltops when it's clear, I could probably make it in with an HT. Johnstone Peak is one of them I could probably hit, but it's a closed repeater, meaning you have to be part of a club. Let's see here. Fountain Valley, I can almost see. Sunset Ridge. This is a good one to talk about because this one, it's right just due north of me, right? What's up, Tio? This gives all the information. The download the frequency the actual repeater is on, the uplink where you this is where you talk on it, and the offset. So generally, if the frequency is 145.440, it's usually the offset's a minus, meaning it's subtract 0.6 from these 2 digits here. And this will give you the input frequency. And there's also a tone, which handy talkies have here, that you'll need to put in that will open up the receive for the, what do you call it? For the, I just made that noise, hamstick. The receive for the repeater to make you transmit over the repeater. And this is where it's located compared to where I'm at. I'm in Southern California, outside of Los Angeles. I'm in the city of Chino, which is right here, and I got a direct shot due north where I could see this repeater. So your ideal thing is you want to be somewhere where you can pretty much see the hilltop or close to the buildings, and they have a pretty good shot, even if you're inside, to be able to hit the repeater. So if we go back to Illinois, I don't know exactly what area you are. You said 40 miles south of Illinois, and I'm not too familiar with. I don't go out to Chicago like I used to. I can remember I've been to, there was a racetrack, and trying to think, it's way south. Chicagoland Speedway, I want to say. So it just say if we look on 2 meters, I don't know any of these areas. And I wish Nate was in here. He knows Chicago pretty well. He lives out there. You could look at Juliet. That's where the racetrack was at. So this will give you an idea. I think it was Juliet, of where the repeater is. So there's a lot of repeaters in areas. It doesn't necessarily need to be in a, you might need to use a different, Juliet is close. So that's what I'm saying. You just look in there. You might be able to hear this one. I don't know what city you're in, but I want to say the racetrack was down here somewhere, south of Juliet. I remember it was about an hour drive from the airport. So this thing is, it's 170 feet in the air. So it's definitely got some height. It's probably on top of a building, water tower, something like that nature. And it has 401 watts. So it definitely will have some power, and you should be able to hear it at minimum where you're at. Probably walk outside and try to hit it, or at least try to listen to it. So I'd probably just type in a couple of these if you have the HT there. I don't remember what radio you had there, but I'm not too familiar with it. Some of these Chicago ones might come in too. But as far as HF, that's like a whole nother world compared to UHF and VHF. I tried O'Hare. Yeah, O'Hare's pretty. Are you talking about to listen to the tower, the aircraft tower? I would suggest like listening to some of. So here's another. If you want to listen to AirNav, if you want to listen to like airports, what's O'Hare's call-letters? MCO? No. I'm spacing here. You want to listen to the approach frequencies. They usually put the transmitter about 40 to 50 miles away from the airport. And it's mainly for the airplanes coming in that are at a distance or flying out. And I'll show you how you can type those ones in. Once somebody tells me the airport identifier for O'Hare.
ORD.
ORD? KORD? KORD? Yeah. So you want to listen to the departure frequencies here. These ones are south. So 126.625. And I could put this in the chat. You should be able to hear the airplanes, because I hear airplanes all the way over New Mexico from where I'm at, well past Arizona. You may have to step outside, and just because you turn it on for like 2 or 3 minutes, you don't hear anything, the planes may not be around too. So you may want to just put it on your desk and let it sit for a little while. My location is southwest. I'm 10. There you go. You're getting something. I've even heard Air Force One come over my house on the airband frequencies. It's the local channel for Juliet. Well, you might need an outside antenna to be able to get something a little bit further away, mainly because your antenna is right on top of the base of the your receiver. I have an antenna, what they call, if you look up a disc cone antenna, that I had somebody put it because I hate going on the roof of my house. I have a 2-story house, and it's above my chimney. That's approximately, 30 feet in the air. Yeah, I'll show you one of the best antennas you could probably look at for scanners and stuff. this discone antenna. And I mean, you could find a little bit better deal somewhere else. I don't know for sure, because this has coax in it with it. And it looks like it's back ordered at the moment, but discone antenna, it's wideband, meaning like when you see the airband, it's like from 120 to 135, I believe, something like that. This will give you a lot of different bandwidth. So you can go from 25 megahertz all the way to 1300 megahertz. Kim, it's nice to see you in there. But even if you plug this into a handheld and you have this outside your house, like just above, like outside your roof, it will be a night and day difference from just having a little antenna on top of your set there, or handheld there. This antenna, I hear aircraft talking to Albuquerque Center, which is just outside of Phoenix. So antenna device? What do you mean? If any a scanner aficionado would talk to you, they'll probably say the discone is probably one of the best antennas to get. You could just throw a wire outside. It's probably better than what you have right now. Antenna is more important than the device. It's part of the system. So you can have a really good radio and not have something good to connect to it, and it'll make your radio useless. I would have and the antenna is actually cheaper than a radio usually is, depending on what radio you get, of course. But having a good antenna placed in a very good position will overcome a lot of things having a not so good radio. They're both very important. It's all part of the ecosystem. You got your transmitter receiver, you got your coax, which is important, going to your antenna, and you got your antenna that's very good, that you want to have all decent connections and everything like that. Who's texting me? And there's another channel called the Ham Radio. And see, I'm not an educational YouTube channel. I mean, I can help. I'm like, just because you see me here on camera doesn't mean I know everything. HRCC. I don't know if you've heard of this guy right here, Josh Nash. He is a ham radio operator, an extra class operator, very smart guy. I know him a little bit personally. I don't know if you've seen him. He shows a lot of different stuff on how to make radios work and how to understand stuff. He has a lot of beginner stuff, starting from basic scratch. He's very good and very articulate on how he explains himself. And he's a very smart guy. I've met him in person. Really nice guy, really patient. He does live streams on Saturday nights. I think you said you're in the Chicago area, so it's central. So it's 7:00 Central Time every Saturday night. And he does an after chat where people can get on Discord and ask him some questions. And he's more than willing to answer a lot of them, especially new people. So check him out. He's got a lot of videos on a lot of different radios, and probably, I'm just guessing, he might have one on the one you have. Well, to be honest with you, I am 50 years old. The first time I've ever laid hands on a radio of any sort, my buddy's dad had a set of these old CB radios that had 3 crystals in them, which crystal-controlled radios back in the 80s, the only way that radios really worked at the time. And the reason why I'm saying this is you couldn't really talk to anybody except for the person right next to you. But that day that I got on the radio, we got the 2 radios, me and my buddy, I think it was my buddy Jeff. We got on his roof of his house to the very tip of the roof, and where we're at, we could see the highway, the Interstate 60, or not Interstate 60, Highway 60. And one of the channels was the emergency channels that he had in his crystal controlled radio for his CB. So we got on there and we're actually talking to people and they're like, you can't talk on here because this is the emergency channel. But we're talking as truckers were driving by there on Highway 60. That kind of got me involved with it. I've really enjoyed, I thought that was totally cool. And my dad, like, I don't know, maybe a year later, this is back in the 80s, maybe 84, 85. I was about 10 years old. He got a CB radio in his car because he was an outside salesman and he was bored sitting in traffic all the time. So he got the CB radio so he could talk to truckers or whatever. And he ended up putting it in the garage and he put an outside antenna and I started talking on it. I remember I talked to somebody in Arkansas with this like 4-watt radio. And there's somebody in here, you might hear a voice of somebody that's actually might want to talk about it. I don't know. But they're in the Navy too. So that's kind of how I got into it. And then I had a buddy in high school that was in the radios, and we used to talk on our CBs because we couldn't use I couldn't use the telephone at my parents' house at the time because my sister hogged it up. So he was over in Creekside, and I was over in the other part of Ontario, California, and we could sit there and talk all night. And we had to worry about anybody interfering with us as far as wanting to use the phone or anything. And the reason why I bring him up is we ended up getting our ham radio license the very same day. We studied together, and I actually made a contact with him on ham radio when I was in Hawaii. He was here. Something we talked about back in the day, back in high school and stuff like that. One of the conversations we had on the CB, it'll be like, that would be pretty cool if like we were in Hawaii and we're like making contacts with all these people all over the place. So it's pretty cool that I just got done doing what they call Parks on the Air, which is you go to a park and you go talk on your ham radio. I talked to people I made a contact with somebody in Japan, Colombia, Canada, Brazil, Hawaii, all within about an hour and a half. So and I just had a little 17-foot antenna sticking out of the ground right behind my Tesla Model 3. So you'd be amazed with a little antenna set up and everything done right, what you can do. So I appreciate you jumping in. I'm not a real PC guy. I don't know too much of the software. That would be a question probably for somebody else. Yeah, you're going to need a lot of different adapters and stuff like that. If you're looking for like scanner stuff, I would go to scannermasters.com. If you're looking for more like ham radio stuff, and I'm not sponsored by any of these folks, you can go to hamradio.com, ham radio outlet. You can check them out. They got a bunch of gear. I think there might be a ham radio outlet in Chicago, actually. I don't know. Maybe.
There's one in Milwaukee, at least. I don't know about Chicago.
Milwaukee, Chicago, same thing, right?
Yeah, both places you're equally likely to get your car stolen from you while you're in it.
A chirp is a free program. Good point there, Ted. And I hope I'm explaining myself right, because I'm getting a little tired. I streamed for about 2 hours earlier. And I have a lovely 14-hour workday tomorrow that I'm not looking forward to. Get in there. There's a couple different groups within the channel of Discord. And there'll be a lot of people that can hopefully answer your questions for you. It's kind of a quiet night here too, so I normally don't go kind of focus on one person in the chat too often. So kind of good with that. But yeah, check out Ham Radio Crash Course. He has some good info. Ham Radio Tube. I'll put these I'll put these in there. Ham radio tube. He has he's a friend of mine. He puts out more like videos on like how-to stuff. Here's Gray Man Poda. A couple of these sites here. He does a lot of POTO activations. But tell those guys that I sent you. These guys are real content creators. I just sit here in front of this camera and yak and don't really do too much. But yeah, Ham Radio Tube has some really good stuff. And if you're really into the technical stuff, Smoke and Ape here is really into technical stuff. I'm not really into the technical stuff. But I saw Smoke and Ape's YouTube channel here before I ever heard of him, and he was talking about digital radio, so I was really interested in looking at that. W6LG hasn't put anything new out lately, and I think he's been pretty ill, but you could check him out. I'm spacing. There's a couple others. These guys he's really good at explaining stuff and like way beyond me. Chat channels, anyone can join and listen. So the only one that does really live streams are Ham Radio Crash Course, as far as these couple people. Ham Radio Crash Course and Tim Grayman Poda. And these are just channels that you can watch on whenever you want. But sometimes they do live ones where they answer questions and stuff like that. I don't think Smoke and Ape does on this. I don't think he does live ones on this one. Yeah, it's been a little while. But he shows like making antennas and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Josh is probably your best bet for answering questions. Oh, yeah. Could you get T.O.'s YouTube page in there? I don't know what I did with it. Yeah, HRCC. Plus he has like over 250,000 subscribers. With my little tiny channel here, only about 20,000 or so subscribers. And there is a new 7300 coming out too. I think it'll be widely available probably at the beginning of the year. But it's getting a little late for me. If you guys can help me out, I know there's 43 you folks watching and only 30 likes. It's a little disappointed. That's the only thing I ask for. I don't ask for donations or any of that crap. Nothing wrong with that, but I just don't. The only thing I ask for is subscribes and likes. That's the only thing I want in life. And chicken hats. Hamstick Eric, a happy afternoon to you.
It is, in fact, afternoon.
Next time I have Taco Bell next year, I'll be thinking about you.
Yeah?
Yep. And
I saw something that I was going to send it to you for Christmas, but it won't be out until January.
That's unfortunate.
I know.
What might that be?
Well, if I tell you, then it wouldn't be a surprise if I ended up getting it for you. But Lego is releasing a new Back to the Future car.
I'm also... It's a little dusty. I don't know if you guys are in the kit. Oop. I don't know why that's on there. Kit car. Remember that from Knight Rider?
Yeah.
I decided if I ever won the lottery, I'm buying a kit car. Well, actually, first I'm buying a kit car because I've always wanted one before the Back to the Future car, and I would like
Wait, wasn't it a Trans Am?
Yes, the kit car was a Trans Am. And
So when I hear kit car, I think of like buying like a car and then a kit to make it look like a different car.
well, this is kit KITT though, not KIT.
I dropped a link for the car in chat.
Oh boy. I also there goes, yeah, TOS, perfect. Thank you. I don't know why I'm subscribed and everything. So I would like a done up DeLorean just like the Back to the Future car. So I know if I ever win the lottery, and the third thing I'm gonna get is a soft serve machine. Because I love soft serve.
Yeah, and a Coke, like a Coke fountain.
Nah, don't need a Coke fountain. That'd just kill me.
Yeah, but it'd
Because
be
I can get a Coke fountain right now. A soft serve machine's a little bit out.
What about movie theater popcorn?
We've talked about that. There's a website to look at broken down one. But you can get movie theater popcorn on Amazon. Like the grease from it or whatever. The butter. Right? Is that what you're referring to?
I don't know. I just want it to taste like it does at a movie theater.
Yeah, you can order that online, so it's kind of cheating. In fact, I have a craving for that.
I don't necessarily want to go to the movies. I just want the popcorn.
I have a better time eating than I do going to the movies these days. I haven't been to the movies. Did I? No, I did not see Top Gun, the new Top Gun in the movie theater like I was going to.
When I lived in Italy, they had a movie theater at the commissary. So it was like the department store, the grocery store, and then they had a food court. But all the snacks and everything for the movie theater that they had was in the food court. So you didn't have to have a movie ticket to buy popcorn.
Ooh.
So every time that I went to go do grocery shopping, I'd get a large thing of movie theater popcorn. And the nice thing, because it was for our morale and recreation, it was actual like reasonable prices. So a large tub of popcorn was $4.
Now, could you put your own butter on there?
It came buttered. It was just like regular movie theater. Or you mean like
that butter they put on, like you?
Oh, I think they did it for you.
No,
but I'm not a huge butter person. I like it kind of plain.
I like the butter. I want them to layer it. Like if they do it, I like to put half popcorn, do a little layer of the grease, the butter, and then finish up putting the butter or the popcorn in, and then put another layer of butter on it, and then I'm set. Because then, see, sometimes when you dig in and then you get like halfway through, you lose all the butter, and then you're like, it's just dry.
I like the dry popcorn. Like salt makes you thirsty.
I'm good. I can get that at work all the time. We get popcorn at work. That's crazy.
Maybe I need a career change.
Be a popcorn guy. There is a guy that was on YouTube or TikTok or something that he spun the popcorn and he was all excited about it. He looked like he really enjoyed his job. I wish I had the video, but I could picture you doing something like that. The only time you're smiling.
This when I have popcorn?
Yeah. Now, how many people are going to get popcorn? We always end up talking about food on here. And I had a big dinner too. I had really good Mexican food. So
I had chicken tikka masala last night.
I have no idea what that is. Maybe I don't want
it's chicken in
brains.
This Indian sauce. No, it's like chunks of chicken breast. In this Indian sauce, and then you scoop it out with the naan. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't eat Indian food very often. But actually, I think I've only eaten it once. And I remember it being spicy, something I had.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
Not like Thai spicy, but it's more of a dense spicy. like slow buildup.
And the other day I got pork shoulder, and couple of days before that I got breaded pork, and then you dip it in this like spicy oil stuff, and it's so good. It's really spicy though.
And to your point, I grew up in a Hispanic area, and a lot of my friends were Mexican growing up, and we spent a lot of time over there cooking the refried beans with the real lard and the whole 9 yards, like homemade carne asada from like the cheap Mexican market, meat market.
I miss carne asada burritos from San Diego. I miss it so much.
I had carne asada today for dinner.
And then you get like, some days you're feeling like red sauce, other days you're feeling like the green sauce.
I had the spicy sauce today.
Like one of the reasons why I asked to go back to California instead of where I'm at now was because of, a couple reasons. One of them is so I could have my RV. I could be back in the U.S. and carne asada. And
for you guys wondering, I'm not going to say where you're at, but he's on the other side of the planet coming in on IP audio. And he sounds like he's sitting right here with us. I'll have Taco Bell for you again. I'll send you a photo.
Yeah,
Let me send you the photo of that. You don't have Taco Bell there?
No, there's Taco Bell in Japan, but it doesn't taste. It tastes like the grocery store Taco Bell, and that's not the same. I want Taco Bell on the air, which leads to then bathrooms on the air.
I can't do seafood. In fact, I'm super allergic. So,
oh yeah,
I almost died last Monday.
I have to ask people here, like, "Hey, is there seafood in this?" And not everyone speaks English, so I'm like, "Is there seafood?" And they're like, they don't understand if I'm asking if there is seafood or if they want me to put seafood on it. So sometimes I'm just like, "All right, where is the place with some chicken tenders?"
That's what I don't like about international travel. All right. Well, I'm going to get out of here. My plan is to be back on Tuesday and or Wednesday. Don't know when. Sorry about that, Eric. Every time I do that, I think about,
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
Whose fault is that? Not mine. Ben, thank you for the contact and the confirmation tonight there on 40 meters. I appreciate it. You made my day. I accomplished all my amateur radio goals today. I got contacts in every band I wanted to get contacts on today. And then it starts all over tomorrow. Mike, nice to see you in there. I might try a POTA next week. I'll see, depending on the weather, and if I want to drive all the way up to Chino Hills or just do Butterfield, do the same type of thing where I come in the late afternoon and try to get the 2 days of activation in there, which actually worked out fairly well today. I didn't think it was going to work, but it worked. The band was good. I had the chicken hat on. Everything was good. So I'm going to get out of here. I don't know if you guys remember the old school Weather Channel. I think I'm going to bring in that to you. Eric, thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for the stories. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.